Right, after doing predictions for the first for the 4 quarters of the 2026 PDC World Darts Championship, I've got down from the quarterfinals all the way to the final, where I will be predicting who I think will win the 4 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and who I think will be crowned at the 2026 World Darts Champion. Let's get into it. So, quarterfinal 1, Luke Littler against Gedwin Price. Now, Price has a good record against Littler, doesn't he? You know, Littler doesn't like playing against Price due to the fact of he just doesn't like it when Price roars and all this stuff during the game. I do think it'll be a difficult game for Littler, and I definitely think it could go either way. I've gone for the Nuke to beat Gedwin Price. I just think, despite all of the things that Littler hates when playing Price, I think Littler can probably put that to one side in a World Championship quarter-final with the hope of reaching another World semi-final. So I think Littler wins that one. Martin Schindler, Johnny Clayton. Now, I don't really want to be putting 2 Welsh players out, but I think Martin Schindler will knock out Johnny Clayton. Johnny Clayton's been good this year, but there's just something about Martin Schindler that could really have a run here, a serious run at the Worlds. Always a player that I've liked, Schindler. Obviously, come off the tour at one point, won his tour card straight back, as you'd expect, and is now in the top 16. Is aiming to potentially get in that top 8, top 4 potentially, in the world rankings. I think Martin Schindler beats Johnny Clayton. Luke Humphries, Jan van Veen. What a game that will be. What a game that will be. The number 2 in the world against Jan van Veen. Again, it's a very young quarterfinal lineup, this, isn't it, to be fair. Apart from like Clayton, I think that's pretty much it. Because Gerwyn Price is not old, Martin Schindler isn't, Van Gerwen isn't, neither's Humphries, but yeah, back to the point. Luke Humphries, Jan van Veen. You'd have to fancy Luke Humphries, and I think put everything into it. Luke Humphries is obviously the better player. There's no doubt about that. Jan obviously is the European champion. Very, very good dart player, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jan van Veen is awful by any stretch of the imagination. Could easily go the other way, but I'm going Luke Humphries. Michael van Gerwen, Josh Rock. Now, my prediction here, I'm kind of doubting myself, but I'm not going to go back on a prediction. I never will. But I am kind of doubting myself because I've gone at Michael van Gerwen to knock out Josh Rock. Now, Josh Rock, of course, has the ability to go on and win the World Championship. I think 5 or 6 of these quarterfinalists have a real chance of winning this, obviously with how the draw could work out for them. And Josh Rock could reach the world final, could beat Van Gerwen, and could beat someone like Humphries or Van Veen in the semis. But I'm going with the know-how, the experience, and the history of being in a situation like this for MVG. I think he beats Josh Rock to reach another World Championship semi-final. Luke Littler, Martin Schindler, semi-final 1. I hate it. I hate just going with the obvious and going with Littler or Humphries every time, but I just don't see Martin Schindler over, what would it be, 11 sets, I think, in their first to 6, I believe, in the semi-final. So, you know, he needs to keep up a real solid amount of quality for a long period of time, and I just don't think Martin Schindler would be able to do that against Luke Littler. Hence why I'm going to get Luke Littler to get to 3 World Darts Championship finals in a row, which is absolutely outrageous, isn't it? But Luke Littler wins. Luke Humphries, Michael van Gerwen, it's the game they all want to see. I think this could be an Alexandra Palace absolute classic in the semi-finals. And I think a lot of people are going to go the other way to me. I think quite a lot of people will go Van Gerwen because of the experience, because of the know-how in a game like this. But I'm going to go for cool hand Luke Humphries to make it to the 2026 World Final, which leaves Luke Littler versus Luke Humphries, a repeat of the 2024 World Darts Championship Final where Luke Humphries won. Littler was 5-2 up, missed a dart of double 2 to go 6-2 up. Luke Humphries won 5 sets on the spin to win 7-5. Or was it 4? No, I think it was 4-2, wasn't it? I think it was 4-2, and Littler missed a dart for 5-2. Yeah, that was it. And Humphries went on to win it. Obviously, Littler won it last year, beating Michael van Gerwen. That final could happen again for 2 years in a row. But I'm going to go Luke Humphries to beat Luke Littler, to take the World Darts Championship crown back, and also to take the world number 1 spot back. So I believe if Humphries wins it, he goes to world number 1. I can't remember the difference in the rankings, but that is my prediction. I've gone Littler to beat Price, Schindler to beat Clayton, Humphries to beat Van Veen, Van Gerwen to beat Rock, Littler to beat Schindler, Humphries to beat Van Gerwen, and Humphries to beat Luke Littler in the World Final. Let me know your thoughts down below, of course. Of course, your quarterfinal to final predictions could be different from mine due to who you put through in the previous rounds, but let me know your thoughts down below, and hopefully I get some of these right. And the darts starts tomorrow. Merry Dartsmas Eve, everyone. Hope you enjoy the darts tomorrow. Predictions for day 1 will be out tomorrow as well. Absolutely fucking buzzing for this tournament to start. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.